The Good Dinosaur is the latest Pixar movie heading into the box office, so with several new films from the studio under our belt, we've decided to update our ranking of the films of Pixar animation. For a studio with such a successful track record, there is great and there is good, but there is very little, if any, bad. Cars 2 benefits from cherry-picking the best elements from the first movie and switching genres, but what's lost here for the most part is the warmth and heart that we adore and expect from most Pixar offerings. Cars, while quite entertaining and clever, just doesn't quite meet the high standard that Pixar has set for itself over the past couple decades. With A Bug's Life, Pixar once again proved they had let the genie out of the bottle with a mix of kid-friendly comedy, adult-friendly knowingness and nostalgia, and state-of-the-art computer animation. Brave wisely forsakes the well-worn relationships of other animated fairy tales in favor of a more complicated yet loving bond between a headstrong mother and her equally stubborn daughter, but it still never becomes more than a traditional Disney princess tale. The Good Dinosaur is one of the most visually stunning projects Pixar has ever created, but it retreads some familiar Pixar tropes in its troubled production shows. But even when the film does hit story points that feel familiar, it does them well and in a way that children can comprehend. It doesn't have the emotional weight of Monsters, Inc., but Monsters University is still a fun and funny movie in its own right, and a funny take on a college comedy in the process. Monsters, Inc. pales in comparison to the Toy Story films, but it is fun and better than most of its non-Pixar peers. It's just that it feels like it could have been even greater than the sum of its monstrous parts. Ratatouille, in its way, is the Alien 3 of the Pixar body of work, the hidden gem that's not as well recognized as it should be. Ratatouille is that unique experience that strikes deep notes of recognition across many kinds of moviegoers. True to its concept, Inside Out is Pixar's emotional tour de force, offering up what is probably the best depiction ever of how the human body's memory and emotions work. Finding Nemo features perhaps the most widely recognized characters from a Pixar picture aside from the original Toy Story troupe, and for good reason. The design, voice work, and real-world emotional parallels of the story all mark the best aspects of all the Pixar films. Toy Story 2 shouldn't be as good as it is, but as a matter of fact, it is a rare example of a sequel that comes close to topping its predecessor. Perhaps its chief disadvantage when compared to Toy Story is that by its very nature, it cannot be seen as groundbreaking as the first film. The story of retired superheroes Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl and their super children Violet, Dash, and Jack-Jack brought a new and different voice to the Pixar world. The Incredibles is less cute and more biting in its satire and wit. The original story of Woody and Buzz and the rest could have been a heartless and cold affair, but Toy Story was technically at the top of its game. The result was a huge success that took age-old tropes and made them fresh and new again, and created the cinematic mega-beast known as Pixar along the way. Pixar once again proved that they didn't talk down to their audience or shy away from truly emotional, powerful material with Up. Funny, exciting, and touching, Up is a beautiful film and became the second animated movie to ever receive a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars. With WALL-E, Pixar began to flirt with a slightly experimental edge to its filmmaking, while tricking Americans everywhere to pay for the pleasure to witness said experiments. WALL-E has undeniable technical and conceptual merits, but it's its emotional core that makes the difference between just another animated film and what this one uniquely offers. Leave it to Pixar to make the best threequel ever. Toy Story 3 works as a drama, a comedy, and an action film, a trifecta of storytelling that live-action Hollywood should take pointers from. It's a beautiful, vibrant story about memories, the passing of time, and how you treat the people in your life. So that's our list. What's yours? Let us know in the comments below. And for all things Pixar, keep it here at IGN.